I think it should time.
Would that be
I don't have any issue with that. I wonder about time limits and whether that might be said to go beyond a health and safety concern. We can look more at that, and that's also something, you know, if we're going to develop a regulation to try to kind of create some boundaries around that, I think a time limit would be an appropriate topic for a regulation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ms. Count.
so I'm not in support of turning it into policy that parents would need an escort. There's been many times where I just want to pop in and, you know, help out for an hour, but I just get it, you know, covered right then. And it would be an undue burden, I think, for the school to have to provide an escort for all parents that just want to observe or help out for, you know, any period of time. So just for that piece, if it's not already in policy, I wouldn't support adding that.
If I could just clarify, my comment was not for parents, but just random visitors who don't have children at the school.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, that would make sense.
Dr. Shaw.
So I will move this item with the edit that staff add additional language limiting or photography and video taking of visitors when there's children involved.
I will second. Okay, call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Item passes. Thank you. Okay, 8.4, Governing Board Policy, LCA, Administration of Student Surveys, Revision, and LCA-E, Student Survey Exhibit, Revision, first reading. Mr. Erinoff.
Thank you. And last one, so this is a policy revision that keeps us in line with one of the aspects of HB 2161, which imposes a variety of new requirements for conducting student surveys. Most notably, it provides a list of subjects which, if the survey touches upon that subject, we need to give a copy. Before administering the survey, we have to give a copy of the survey and to parents, and an opportunity for parents to provide us signed consent to administer the survey to their student at least 7 days before administering the survey. Otherwise, we can't administer it. So in drafting this, we did consult with our assessment and evaluation team, who are kind of the people in charge when we do student surveys. So got their input on crafting this to make it as sort of realistic in terms of what we do currently as possible. There are a lot of changes in this, but really those changes track the new statutory language that, again, will be in effect September 24th. The exhibit is the basically request to administer a survey, and mostly provided just for the court's information that this is what that exhibit would look like with this update. The exhibit doesn't change a great deal, but hadn't been updated in quite a while. The previous exhibit mentioned submitting requests on 3.5-inch floppy disks, so it had been a bit. So this policy LCA, again, this is a first read. So action on it today would be to post it for public comment for 30 days before bringing it back for a second read.
Okay. Board members, any discussion? Dr. Shaw?
Yeah, so I'm going to vote in favor of this, just so not to cause our staff leadership more headaches tonight. But, I am vehemently against this. I mean, as someone who, has a master's in public health and has used a lot of data over the years that are really important in terms of youth behavior. I was a medical director of a high school-based health center, and so much of what we do in health and related fields, require information about what's going on in our kids' lives. And for all these barriers to put in place, just to understand, behaviors of our students, behaviors of our youth, when we're trying to put so many resources and work to help improve outcomes for our youth is just so stupid to have this in place here, because we're getting less information from less students, and we don't know what's going on in their lives and how we can best have interventions to help them in a really challenging adolescent period especially. And so I think this is bad policy. I think this is a bad law, but I'll move the item.
I will second, and I will also say that this is bad policy, this is bad law, but for sake of discussion. Ms. Shaw?
Thank you. I wonder, so this goes into effect September 24th, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I wonder if, if anyone needs to do a student survey in light of, we can do that before September 24th.
Dr. Trujillo?
Yeah, one of the things that I would like to do is, when this comes back for second read, I'd like Dr. Hallie Freitas to join us and talk about the potential ramifications to the student quality survey. The school quality survey that we do for students, parents, and staff, it is the primary mechanism that we use to assess student, staff, parent attitudes, beliefs, and experiences with the districts. These requirements would make that a little bit of a challenge, seeing that, especially on the student side of the house, we get more than 20,000 responses to our student quality survey. So I think when this comes back for the second read, the community and of course our board, I think, would benefit from hearing from Dr. Freitas in terms of what the potential ramifications and difficulties will be with that survey. I think for all of our partners that come in and do survey work with us, I know I'm a big fan of the Arizona Youth Survey that I've done in a previous district. It really helps get a feel for what the student experience is on the ground and how you can better adjust student support services. These restrictions make that almost impossible.
Ms. Luna Rose?
Yes, Ms. Grajava.
And a lot of funding opportunities, including those that are generated by the state, by the way, require data from that Arizona Youth Survey. They want to know how we're collecting this information in order to justify either whatever programs we have. Programs like Higher Ground utilize a lot of the data that is generated by surveys like this in order to direct their programming. And so this is actually going to be a huge detriment to a lot of the nonprofits that are trying to provide services for our students and community.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, we have a motion on the table, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Yeah, no, nay.
Oh, okay. So item passes 4-1 with Ms. Shaw dissenting. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Erinoff, for an exciting time. Much appreciated, sir. Okay. Mutual 9.1, future meeting dates and agenda items. Dr. Trujillo. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Grajava.
Ms. Luna Rose, I just wanted to announce that tomorrow, Wednesday, 2 to 4:30, and Thursday, 2:30 to 4 p.m., we're going to have executive session. So there will be postings, but no public meeting because it's exec. And so I just wanted to make sure that I reminded my colleagues in the community that we will be meeting. So that would be tomorrow, August 24th from 2 to 4:30. And then if we need to, Thursday, August 25th from 2:30 to 4. And our staff will let us know if we need to hold on to that Thursday date.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Grajava. Dr. Trujillo.
Yes, Board Clerk Luna Rose, members of the board. We look forward to our September meetings. Two marquee items that I want to preview for the community. We will be giving our opening of schools report particularly for enrollment and what enrollment looks like across the district after this key 10-day marker that we hit last week. And then we'll also be talking about TUVA, and we'll talk about the state of TUVA, the enrollment, current enrollment of TUVA, and some governing board options, long-term 23-24 for TUVA with regard to operations and funding. So two big items we'll have in September.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion, board members? Anything to add?
Thank you for running the meeting, Ms. Luna Rose.
And
I know it was a challenging meeting, and I thought you did a
That-
really good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I hope you feel better soon.
Me too. Thank
And-
you all.
Thank you, everybody, and we will see you again on September 13th, and happy Labor Day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Night.